loudest voices come from the quietest places. Imagine this. You're in St. John's, Newfoundland, a place known more for its icy winds than for hip-hop artists. That's where Daniel Nwosu Jr., the man we now know as Dax, was born to Nigerian immigrant parents. His family soon moved to Ottawa, and then he found himself chasing a dream across the United States. It wasn't a music dream, not at first. It was a basketball dream. He was good, really good. He played his heart out on the court, working his way through college with a ball in his hand. He was dedicated, focused, and on a path that seemed set in stone. But life has a funny way of changing the game plan when you least expect it. The path of an athlete is never easy. It's full of pressure and uncertainty. For Dax, the dream took him to Newman University in Kansas. But while he was a star on the court, he needed a way to support himself. So he took a job, he became a janitor. Picture that for a moment. By day he was a celebrated college athlete, sinking shots and getting applause. By night he was pushing a mop, cleaning floors and working in complete solitude. It's a powerful contrast, isn't it? One life under the bright lights, the other in the quiet hum of an empty building. Most people would just put their headphones on and get through the shift. Dax did something different. He started to write. In those long, quiet hours, surrounded by the echo of his own footsteps, Dax found a new kind of court. It was a blank page. During his breaks from cleaning, he would pull out a notebook and let his thoughts flow. He wrote about everything, his struggles, his hopes, his frustrations, and his faith. It was just for him, a way to process the world. He wasn't trying to be a rapper or a poet. He was just a young man with a lot on his mind, finding an outlet in words. This janitor's closet became his first studio, and the silence of the night was his first audience. A dream he didn't even know he had was starting to take shape, one line at a time. This transformation from athlete to artist wasn't a sudden explosion. It was a slow burn, ignited by a simple moment of encouragement. One day, he shared some of his writing with a teammate. It wasn't a song, just poetry. His friend was blown away. He told Dax, "Man, you have a gift, you need to do something with this." That little push was all it took. It was like someone finally told him that the voice in his head was worth listening to and, more importantly, worth sharing. He had spent his life communicating through action on the basketball court, but now he realized he could communicate even more powerfully through words. The athlete was still there, but an artist was being born right alongside him. In our modern world, if you have something to say, you don't need a big record label or a fancy studio. You just need a phone and an internet connection. Dax understood this better than anyone. He took his poetry and started turning it into music. He began recording freestyles and songs and putting them directly onto social media. He wasn't waiting for permission. He was creating his own stage online, sharing his raw, unfiltered thoughts with anyone who would listen. He would film videos of himself rapping in his car, in his room, wherever he could. It was authentic, it was real. And people started to notice this kid who had so much to say. His big break came in a way that is so typical of the internet age. It came from a meme. Remember the "Cash Me Outside" girl? Of course you do. While everyone else was laughing, Dax saw an opportunity. He created a remix song about the viral moment, and it exploded. The video went viral, getting millions of views. Suddenly, the janitor from Kansas was an internet sensation. It was a strange way to get famous, for sure, but it proved that Dax had a talent for tapping into the cultural conversation. He knew how to get people's attention, but he was determined to be more than just a viral moment. He wanted to hold that attention with something much deeper. This early success gave him a platform, and he used it to pivot back to his true passion, storytelling. He wasn't interested in making generic party anthems. His style was different. It was a unique blend of spoken-word poetry and rapid-fire rap. He puts the poetry first, making sure every word carries weight and meaning. His songs became his diary, a place to explore the issues that truly mattered to him. He tackled subjects that many artists shy away from: faith, mental health, identity, and the pressures of modern society. He was building a connection with his audience that went beyond catchy hooks. He was starting a conversation. The strategy was brilliant in its simplicity. He would consistently drop new music, engage with his fans directly, and build a community around his message. He called his movement "It's Dax." It was a declaration of his unique identity and an invitation for his fans to embrace their own. He wasn't just an artist, he was a leader of a tribe. This digital-first approach allowed him to grow a massive, loyal fan base from the ground up, all without the backing of a major label. He proved that if your message is powerful enough, it will find its way to the people who need to hear it, one share and one stream at a time. Once Dax had the world's attention, he made sure he had something important to say. He released a song that would come to define his career. Dear God, this wasn't just a song, it was a prayer, a raw and honest conversation with a higher power. He asked the questions that so many of us have in our hearts but are afraid to say out loud. Questions about pain, purpose, and the nature of belief. The song resonated with millions of people from all walks of life, believers and non-believers alike. It showed that Dax was willing to be vulnerable, to put his soul on display for the world to see. It was a bold move that cemented his place as a truly conscious artist. He continued down this path with other powerful tracks. In Child of God, he explores his faith and identity, delivering a message of hope and self-worth. Then came A Real Man, a song that challenges traditional ideas of masculinity. In a world that often tells men to be tough and hide their feelings, Dax rapped about the importance of showing emotion, of being vulnerable, and of seeking help. He was using his music to break down stereotypes and encourage a healthier, more honest way of living. Each song was like a chapter in a book about the human experience, and his fans were reading every single word. Perhaps one of his most impactful songs is Dear Alcohol. In this track, he personifies alcohol as a toxic friend, detailing a personal struggle with drinking in a way that is painfully relatable. The song went viral on platforms like TikTok, with countless people sharing their own stories and using the song as a source of strength. It even crossed over to country radio, showing that his message could break through genre barriers. Dax wasn't just a rapper anymore, he was a storyteller whose words could touch people in Nashville just as easily as they could in New York or his hometown of Ottawa. What makes these songs so powerful is their honesty. Dax doesn't preach from a pedestal, he speaks from a place of experience. He shares his own battles with mental health, his own questions about faith, and his own struggles with temptation. This authenticity is his superpower. When people listen to a Dax song, they don't just hear a rapper, they hear a friend. They hear someone who understands what they're going through because he's been through it himself. He turns his personal pain into a universal message of hope, letting his listeners know that they are not alone in their struggles. For most of his career, Dax chose to remain an independent artist. This is a very difficult path. It means you are the CEO, the marketing team, the manager, and the artist all at once. But it also means you have complete creative control. You don't have to answer to a record executive who wants you to change your message to sell more records. Dax valued this freedom above all else. He built his empire on his own terms, connecting directly with his fans and releasing music that was 100% true to his vision. This independent spirit earned him millions of streams and a fiercely loyal global following who respected his integrity. His hard work and unique vision eventually paid off in a big way. After years of building his brand independently, he signed a deal with a record label. But he did it on his terms, ensuring he could maintain the creative freedom he had fought so hard for. This partnership allowed his music to reach an even wider audience. His ability to blend hip-hop, country, and rock elements showed that he was not confined by genre labels. He was simply an artist who used whatever sounds he needed to get his message across. His success is a testament to the power of authenticity in an industry that often demands conformity. Today, Dax stands as a true inspiration. His journey is a powerful reminder that your current situation does not have to be your final destination. The kid who once shot hoops and mopped floors is now a global music star who inspires millions. He took the discipline he learned from basketball and the introspection he found during his janitor shifts and channeled it all into his art. He faced rejection, doubt, and hardship, but he never gave up on his voice. He kept writing, kept creating, and kept sharing his truth with the world. In the end, the story of Dax is a story of turning trials into triumphs. It's about the incredible power of a single voice to cut through the noise and connect with the hearts of millions. He is more than just a rapper, he is a modern-day poet, a motivator, and a beacon of hope for anyone who has ever felt lost or unheard. By bravely sharing his own journey, he gives others the courage to face theirs. He proves that with faith, hard work, and a whole lot of heart, you can rewrite your own story and make your voice heard around the world. And that's a beat we can all dance to.